Game started.
Let's see. Oh, we got chestnut. Let's see. I think I played e4 last time. Here, let's try c4. It's been a while. Okay, we'll see what chestnut has to play against c4. c6. So this is an offer to go into a Slav defense, I guess. I could have played e4 instead of d4, and that would have been a Caro-Kann Panov-Botvinnik attack, I think, by transposition. Okay, but this is just a Slav, so I should continue in those lines. I play knight to f3 to stop e5, to win our gambit. And let's see, possible moves are takes, develop the knight, play e3. I think bishop, if they're going to develop the bishop, usually they take first and then develop the bishop. But we'll see. Taking his time on this move, yeah, that's normal. And now, since this is a Slav, it's often prudent to protect the c-pawn. The c-pawn is one step closer to being secured because the move c6 has already been played. So b5 and then pawn on b5 is supported. Still a bit tricky, of course. So you are, in fact, able to play knight c3 before playing e3, but this is okay. And my opponent is playing the Schlechter Slav with the fianchettoed kingside bishop and these pawns over here. I don't have any great line against it. The thing is, bishop d3 doesn't have as much effect here since it's just hitting on this pawn. But maybe I will play it anyway with the idea of supporting. So it's not to support a kingside attack; it's just to support the pawn push to e4, which is usually desirable. And the fianchetto, I mean the pin. The pin is not particularly effective here unless unless he intends to exchange, because after this move h3, the bishop, if it retreats, I can play g4 and win a piece. So after h3, it either has to retreat or it has to exchange. So I have the bishop pair. I should probably go ahead and grab more space in the center and open up a line for this bishop. And black in this operation gains a tempo. Actually, you may gain a pawn. I should have thought of this. If we back up a second, knight takes. I could take with the queen. If I take with the bishop, knight takes, bishop takes, and he's got the bishop on hitting d4 there. But I could take with the queen, comes here with the knight, and then I could drop back to d3, still defending the pawn. Still, it's a bit suspect here. This is a weak pawn. And so my opponent played e5, so going after my center. If I take, the knight takes, and then he wins this bishop. This is looking pretty good for black. Looks like he equalizes. So I'm sacking a pawn in order to keep the bishop pair. Maybe not a good decision. Maybe not. And this knight is only momentarily good. He's got f5 and e4 immediately threatening. He's immediately threatening that f5 and e4 would win a piece. So I need to react to that. I guess putting the bishop on a better square. Like I said, this bishop on d3 was not on the best diagonal anyway. It was just to support stuff happening in the center. Okay, he dropped back with his knight. Well, he won his pawn, so I guess he's done his damage there. So is the bishop a target here? Perhaps. Let's just go with Actually, maybe that's not such a great idea. He's going to get a tempo after knight. Knight f6, I move the queen, and then he can push this pawn with a tempo on the rook. Or knight there. And I move the queen, and he can push the pawn with a tempo on the rook. Either way, I have the move rook to b1 to get out of that tempo. Let's see, what is he threatening now? Just thought he should have played. I was threatening his knight too, I guess, so he defended it. I thought he should have just played e4 anyway. This pawn is pinned, so that's good. So maybe this is a weakness. So let's try and maybe get him bishop to b2 and get some extra pressure on the e-pawn. Try and make some sense of my position here. And now the move e4 doesn't come with any tempos. I'll take off his bishop if I get a chance, because that's a good bishop in this position. Now I can play f4. Can I play f4? He takes, I take. No, I can't play that because my queen is under attack. Can I get pressure on his knight? Maybe rook here. So I'm threatening bishop takes, check, winning the knight. And what else is going on? Is there anything I can do with these pawns? So bishop takes check still wins the knight. Let's see if I want to do that. I mean, I'm giving up the bishop pair, but I establish my material equality. You can take with the rook. Bishop takes check. Rook takes, and he's hitting f2. Queen takes, rook takes, and then rook takes f2. That's good for... That is just good. So is there some other move? Can I move the bishop with tempo in some other way? Bishop here. Oh, I know. Here's an idea. I play a4 with the intent of playing bishop to... well, that's even better. Bishop to... a4 was to support bishop to b5, which hits the rook and threatens the knight at the same time. Now it hits the rook, skewers these rooks, and hits the knight. So much better than what I was thinking, bishop f7. So the only trick is if his knight can move with the tempo. I don't see it. So I'm better off actually taking the knight, I think. I can take the rook and win the exchange, but he can take back with the knight. Queens come off, and I'm just the exchange up. And he's got a pawn for it. But if I take here with the rook, if I take with the queen, he has rook here check, winning the queen. So I have to take with the rook. That's a handy trick. I will show in the postmortem. So it's important to take with the rook. Okay, he develops his rook with an attack on my bishop. Let's see. His e-pawn is now under defended. So let's take that pawn. And I think finally I've gotten to the point where I am winning here. My rook was not really pinned. My queen is defended, and the rook defends the queen anyway after the exchange. So yeah, that was an exchange of pieces, but each exchange of pieces helps me now that I'm a piece up. I'm happy to exchange further. Yeah, so he avoids the exchange. I can get off one pair of rooks with this check, and I think I will do that. And
check.
We'll reduce the chances that I get mated. Because he was threatening rook here, check, and he's got the queen covering my escape square. I had the bishop retreat to defend against that, but there were mating ideas were in the air, whereas if I reduce the number of rooks on the board, Mates are no longer possible. And let's see, if he moves his king here, I can even play
Black resigns.
queen there, check, and take the queen off. Okay, well, an interesting game. I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.